One of the problems we can see when running a large turbocharger on a small capacity engine is we do risk running the turbocharger into what's referred to as compressor surge. Compressor surge refers to where we are running on a compressor map to the left-hand side of the surge line, and this is an area we really don't want to be running our turbo in. And to dumb this down, essentially compressor surge occurs where the turbocharger compressor is trying to supply more air than the engine is able to consume. And it's characterized by a fluttering or chuffing sound from the turbocharger, and it also can be potentially damaging to the turbocharger, and it can also make the car a little bit difficult for the driver to control. Obviously, none of those are a good situation. Now, we see this situation occur on small capacity engines in a drag application, particularly where the driver is already at wide open throttle and high boost pressure, and maybe the car gets a little bit loose and loses traction. Our way of solving that is for the driver to simply short shift, but what this does is drops the engine lower in the RPM, and if it drops it to a point where the efficiency of the engine is significantly reduced, this can be enough to force the turbocharger into surge. We are also seeing this now as competitors fit larger and larger turbochargers here at wtac, particularly with some of the more advanced turbos like the BorgWarner EFR 9280 that's fitted to Chris Alexander's R32 GTR behind me, albeit one that's running a 2.2 litre 4G63. This is a very real problem, particularly at part throttle. As the driver backs out of the throttle and the throttle body closes, this obviously reduces the airflow into the engine, and what this does is it increases the pressure ratio that the turbocharger is operating at, and can be enough therefore to run the 9280 into surge. Our one option, of course, will be to reduce the boost pressure the turbocharger is running by opening the wastegate as the driver backs out of the throttle. There's pros to that in terms of reducing compressor surge. The negative, however, is it reduces the turbo speed, which means that when the driver gets back to full throttle, there is some lag associated with the turbocharger building back up to full speed. A way that M-Tron are getting around this problem is to incorporate a very small drive-by-wire throttle body on the intercooler plumbing pre-throttle body. That drive-by-wire throttle body is there to serve two purposes. One is in place of a conventional pneumatic blow-off valve or bypass valve. So when the driver closes the throttle completely, this opens to vent that compressed air out of the intercooler piping. For our purposes though, we're more interested in the anti-surge characteristic, and essentially the M-Tron ECU monitors the pressure ratio that the turbocharger is operating at. That pressure ratio refers to the pressure at the compressor outlet divided by the pressure at the compressor inlet. And this is one of the metrics that we can use to decide whereabouts we are operating on the compressor map. Essentially, the M-Tron therefore knows how close it's operating to the surge line for the particular turbocharger, and when we get close to that surge line, it can automatically open that drive-by-wire throttle body in order to control the airflow, vent excess pressure, and then avoid surge. This gives us the best of both worlds, avoiding surge, but also giving the driver faster boost response when he does get back onto the throttle.
If you like that video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you're subscribed. We release a new video every week. And if you like free stuff, we've got a great deal for you. Click the link in the description to claim your free spot to our next live lesson.